Sorry guys, some technical difficulties there. That was interesting. Apparently it was on a tabbed window that was deciding to, oh, I'm going to make sound now, even though I have all the sounds turned off on my windows. Oh, that's fun. How is everyone doing today? I'm doing okay. We got Wrath of Wood, we got Big T here. Oh, what a day. Things are interesting to say in the world of video games and Ikoria spoilers and how many movie franchises Wizards of the Coast is apparently ripping off at the same time. It's quite entertaining to say the least. I'm waiting for the arachnophobia stuff. Double drum kick intro. Yeah, it was weird. Anyway, I've got the spoilers up there. We're still collecting donations for the Extra Life United fundraiser, I guess. It's in response for the hospitals and stuff like that, especially with my little one being in the hospital for so long. I figured it was time to start doing a little bit of a kickback towards them. Anyway, I'm going to have that running until we reach our goal, until such a time. As for now, we have the spoilers coming up, and if you saw the thumbnail, you could see I took something from Sharknado, because that is one of the new spoiler cards that we've gotten, which is absolutely ridiculous. We got the Shark Typhoon. Like, that thing is absolutely... Like, the second that this came out, I was like, okay, they went a little too hardcore on the horror movie genre, B-rated movies for Ikoria. You know, I'm waiting for the creature of a hand coming across the street, the cards, and it'll run across arena accounts and stuff like that. Although it would be fun to have as a pet, the hand as a pet, I guess. But yeah, there's lots. These are like memes from a few years back. Yeah, pretty much. I'm waiting for the Addams Family to show up. The running gag that I've been running with is we're assembling Voltron or the Power Rangers in Zendikar when we go back there for the Gatewatch, which is pretty ridiculous in itself. So I know we ended off yesterday. I believe it was the Abosh dude, the Helion there. So today we've got Rileli, the Everwise. A 1 red, 1 blue, 1 generic, 0/3 human wizard, legendary human wizard, on it that gets +1/+0 for each instant or sorcery card in your graveyard. This is another Izzet. Put all your instants and sorceries in the graveyard and this thing gets bigger. Whenever you discard one or more cards for the first time each turn, draw that many cards. So if you have something that makes you discard your entire hand, say 7 cards, now you draw 7 cards. So this is just going to give more power, more draw power for Izzet, which is absolutely insane. Shark Typhoon, which is the Sharknado reference that this is something I never would have imagined to be on a Magic the Gathering card. You know, like going, this is a little deep for Magic the Gathering. This is a little far for the pop culture references. They've always mirrored pop culture. That's one thing I gotta say with Magic the Gathering. It's always kind of mirrored it, so I'm not surprised to see Shark Typhoon, but I'm more surprised that they actually went to the part of putting it out there with Shark Typhoon. 1 blue, 5 generic, enchantment. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create an XX blue shark creature token with flying. So sharks are now flying because it's in a typhoon. Where X is that spell's converted mana cost. You can cycle it for 1 blue, 1 generic, and X. When you cycle Shark Typhoon, create an XX blue shark creature token with flying. So you can just cycle it for 2 mana, or you can go 2 mana plus to make a token. I don't see this getting cycled very often for the X cost, unfortunately. It'll be fun in Commander. Most of the spoilers today are Commander spoilers. We're just catching up on things that were done late last night. We have the Mythos of Brokkos, another Seb McKinnon fantastic card artwork from Seb. I want to see these all on one playmat. I think it's probably going to be out there. This is a 2 green, 2 generic sorcery. If blue and black are also used for the spell, search your library for a card, put it into your graveyard, then shuffle your library. Otherwise, you just return up to 2 permanent cards from your graveyard to your hand. This is dead on arrival. These types of return effects, unless it's regrowth for 2 mana, they have not been very good. Stormwald Caprador. 1 white, 2 generic, 1/3, a bird goat. We have a flying goat. They couldn't go as far as a flying pig, but they came out with a flying goat. Flying. If non-combat damage would be dealt to Stormwind Caprador, prevent that damage. Put a 1/1 counter on him for each 1 damage prevented this way. So if you do the Red Storm card that does 4 damage to everything, he will prevent those the 4 damage and get 4/4 bigger, and probably clear the path for him to come in to wallop your opponent. We got a pouncing shark. We've got a shark that's taking on Darwinism at its greatest rate. A 1 blue, 4 generic, 4/3 shark beast with mutate of 1 and 3. Another flash mutate. Whenever this creature mutate, you return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. So for 5 mana, you get a 4/3 that returns something. I don't know. I don't see you really caring about this for mutate other than that. Otherwise, this is just a jank 4/3 for 5 mana. It's overcosted 4/3. That's, yeah, unless you mutate it, it's not going to do anything. We have Ikeli, or IKEA monster, whatever you want to call this thing, with the many eyes. It's something of nightmares, but it's only a beast. It's 2 generic, a black and a green. When it mutates, return target permanent from your graveyard to your hand. Yeah, so this is the closest thing to the Golgari Fine Broker of the past. So that's interesting to see. We have another one. Street Sharks, yeah. Footfall Crater for 1 red. Enchantment Aura, enchant land. Enchanted land has tap, target creature gains trample and haste until end of turn, and it has cycling of 1. This is going to be something. You have this in your opening hand, you put it down on the land as your turn around in 1 play, and then you just sit there on it. These trample and haste stuff for red has mostly been instants, and the fact that this has a persistent aura that goes around a land, this makes it absolutely insane. Then we have Migratory Great Horn. A green and 3 generic, creature beast. It can mutate for 1 green and 2 generic. When this creature mutates, search your library for a basic land card, put it into the battlefield, tap, then shuffle your library. It's also a 3/4. Once again, not a card I see doing much. Okay, Ominous Seas. When I saw this one spoiled, I went, this is broken. This thing is going to absolutely break any blue deck. You can throw this right now on the Esper Control, which is blue, black, and white deck, with the Luminous Moth combo for the infinite draw, scry, and this thing is 1 blue, 1 generic enchantment. Whenever you draw a card, put an Omen counter on Ominous Seas. Remove 8 Omen counters, so after you draw 8 cards, which is not hard to do, mind you, create an 8/8 blue Kraken creature token. It also has cycling 2 if this thing becomes useless. Throw this just in a cycling deck nonetheless. This thing is going to be a finisher in a lot of decks. You do have Jace and the Thras's Oracle that you can also throw into there, so this is just creating a build around a blue draw deck. Blue draw go deck, it's going to be absolutely busted. 4 of in a cycling deck, yep. Oh yeah. Then we have a Rooting Moloch, 1 red, 4 generic, creature lizard. When it enters the battlefield, exile target card with cycling ability from your graveyard. Until the end of your next turn, you may play that card. This thing also has cycling too. It's a 4/4, it's for 5 mana. This is kind of an uncommon filler for draft. It feels like I don't see this actually doing anything with the cycle. First, you've got to have something else with cycling in your graveyard. So, yeah, I don't really see this taking off. It is uncommon. It feels like a waste of an uncommon slot. It's very neat, But yeah. Then we have a Thieving Otter. 1 blue, 2 generic. We got this bright blue otter, which is really neat looking. It's a 2/2, so it's a 2/2 for 3, which is not that good of a bear. Whenever Thieving Otter deals combat damage to an opponent, or deals damage to an opponent, doesn't have to be combat damage, mind you, draw a card. Yeah, this could have been 2 mana for a 2/2 with that added effect. I think 3 mana, it just makes it limited filler at that point, which is really unfortunate. And then we have the Commander spoilers. So, right off the bat, we've got a Wartime Broker. 1 red, 3 generic creature human warrior. Whenever one or more creatures attack an opponent or a planeswalker an opponent controls, those creatures gain menace until end of turn. It's also a 4/4. That's neat. Curious Herd. 1 green, 3 generic. Instant. Choose target opponent. You create X green 3/3 green beast creature tokens where X is the number of artifacts that player controls. So this is Commander. That won't be legal in Standard. Because people have been trying to make an artifact deck work in Standard currently. This is a one-off. Like, unless your opponents are playing artifacts, it's a dead card dead. Why not Elks? No doubt. We've got a reprint of Ajani Unwielding. 1 white, 1 green, 4 generic. This was a Planeswalker one, is it not? Was this not a Planeswalker deck one? Reveal the top 3 cards of your library. Put all non-land permanent cards revealed this way into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of in any order. For a -2, exile target creature. Control it gains life equal to its power. And a -9, put 5 counters on each creature you control. 5 loyalty counters on each other Planeswalker you control. I thought this was the Planeswalker deck one. I gotta look that up. Because if this is a Planeswalker deck one, that is very underwhelming to see as... Yeah, it was Aether Revolt. So this is the Ajani from Aether Revolt. Now, don't get me wrong, I believe the Commander stuff is supposed to be taking place on Ikoria. So this means Ajani is on Ikoria, but they've reprinted something else. So this is card number 201 of 322 in the Commander series. So it's quite interesting. He's pre-con Ajani. Yeah, so if he is a pre-con... See, it just says Aether Revolt. No, this was the actual one from the set, because this is card number 127. So that's the actual one from it, not the pre-con one. He was still an overcosted Planeswalker. Okay for Commander, really? Then we have Obscuring Haze. This card is absolutely a great fog that they've added to the Commander series. 1 green and 2 generic. Instant. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn by creatures your opponents control. So damage your opponent's control, which is absolutely fantastic for a fog. But the real crazy upside is, if you control a commander, you may cast a spell without paying its mana cost. This is absolutely ridiculous. For Commander, that's what Commander is. It's not that big of a deal. The fact that this card is not a modern or standard staple, I don't care. It's Commander. It's cool. You know, this is where this type of power level should be, is in Commander. Not where standard and modern just breaks things nonetheless. Then you have Nesting Grounds. You tap it for a colorless. 1 generic and tap it. Move a counter from target permanent you control to another target permanent. Activate this ability only anytime you can cast a sorcery. So this can kind of speed up Dark Depths. A lot of the counters from this set. It's kind of neat. Teyama, or Tamyam, Luminous Enigma. So this is some nightmare beast that lights up. He's 1 green, 1 black, 1 white, 1 generic. 3/3 legendary creature. Each other creature you control enters the battlefield with an additional vigilance counter on it. So even if they have one already, they get an additional one. You're stacking up on vigilance counters. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, for 3 mana, you remove 3 counters from among creatures you control, put the top 3 cards of your library into the graveyard, then return a permanent card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. This is very appropriate for Commander and would be absolutely Brokko in Standard. Then there's the Netherborn Altar. For 1 black and 1 generic, it's an artifact. You tap it, put a soul counter on Netherborn Altar, put your commander into your hand from the command zone, then lose 3 life for each soul counter on Netherborn Altar. Neat. Hey, Reyes. How's it going? Lifecrafter's Bestiary, another one from Kaladesh. 3 generic. At the beginning of your upkeep, scry 1. Whenever you cast a creature spell, pay 1 green. If you do, draw a card. Boneyard Microdex. 1 black, 2 generic. It's a creature fungus with the power and toughness equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard, and it also has Scavenge for 1 black and 4 generic. Scavenge is exile this card from your graveyard, put a number of 1/1 counters equal to the card's power and power on target creature. Scavenge only as a sorcery. What? So this thing has a power and toughness equal in your graveyard then? Or is that a mistake? I thought it wouldn't get that ability unless it was on board. Scavenge was fun back in the day, but how does it have a power and toughness that are each equal to the number of other creature cards in your graveyard if it's not on your battlefield? I think that's a bit of a mistake in a card. Right? Because it's not doing that check in the graveyard. It only does that check on the battlefield. Stars have values in other zones? That's very interesting. Well then. XX don't. But stars do. Weird. Well then. For 2 black and 4, you got a Mind Leecher 5/5 with Mutate 1 black and 4. This thing's flying. When this creature mutates, exile the top card of each opponent's library face down. You may look at it and play those cards as long as they remain exile. You still got to pay the casting cost, so unless your opponent is playing black, this thing's useless. Once again, it's a commander card, so we're not seeing this in Standard, which is great. Sanctuary Blade, 2 generic for equipment artifact. Whenever it becomes attached, choose a color. So this thing is whatever color you make it on attachment, which is really nice. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has protection from the last chosen color with the equip cost of 3. Molten Echoes, 2 red and 2 enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Whenever a non-token creature of the chosen type enters the battlefield you control, create a token that's a copy of that creature. That token gains haste. Exile at the beginning of the next end step. Meh. Unless you have something that's absolutely huge, maybe you don't want to copy legendary creatures because they're going to legendary check each other. So this thing's just kind of going to fall flat. Flawless Maneuvers. For 1 white and 2 generic, creatures you control gain indestructible in a turn. But wait, there's more. If you control a commander, you may cast a spell without paying its mana cost. That is an amazing indestructible ability. Alicia, Who Smiles at Death. This is another reprint, I believe, from Origins. Or is it Takir? It's an older reprint. 1 red, 2 generic, 3/2, legendary creature, human warrior, first strike. Sorry, it's super dry in my house. Oh, Fate Reforge. I knew I was getting far enough back there. When Alicia, Who Smiles at Death, attacks, you may pay 1 white or black hybrid. If you do, return target creature card with power 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, tapped and attacking. Meh, that's okay. Shared Animosity. 1 red, 2 generic enchantment. Whenever a creature you control attacks, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn for each other attacking creature that shares a creature type with it. Cool. Shiny Empress. This is a lemur with goggles, it looks like. 1 red, 2 generic, enchantment aura. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and has goaded. It attacks each combat if able and attacks a player other than you, which is whatever. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, you create a treasure token. Interesting. It's not that creature's owner creates a treasure token. It's whenever it attacks, you create it. And because you're the owner of the enchantment, I'm guessing it's you. Kelsian the Plague. 1 black, 1 white, 1 red, 2/2, vigilant haste, human creature, assassin. That is legendary. He gets +1/+1 for each experience counter you have. Kelsian deals 1 damage to target creature you don't control. When that creature dies this turn, you get an experience counter. That's interesting, but how does this work with other experience counters is my question. You're still going to gain the 1/1, I guess, so the experience deck is a thing that could be out there. Zaraxa, the Exemplary. 1 blue, 1 green, 1 black, and a generic 2/3 Nightmare Hydra. This thing looks like it's from lands of LSD and everything. It's got Death Touch. You can tap it to add 2 mana of any one color. With that for 4 mana, and it's a mana dork that taps for 2 mana. That's pretty epic. Pardon me. Whenever you cast a spell with X in it mana cost, create a 0/0 green Hydra creature token, put X 1/1 counters on it. Wow, that's cool. Braylin, or Ballin, Sky Shark Rider. 1 red, 3 generic. He's a 3/3 human shaman legendary creature. Has partnered with Shabraz, the Sky Shark, which is right beside him. Whenever you discard a card, put a 1/1 counter on him, and it deals 1 damage to each opponent. For 1 red, target shark gains trample until end of turn, and his partner is 1 blue, 1 white, and 3 generic Shark Bird. Hey, Dragon's Lair, welcome. And he partners with the other one. He's flying. Whenever you draw a card, put a 1/1 counter on him, and you gain a life. For 1 blue or white, target human gains flying until end of turn. Very strange partner effect for Commander. Yeah. So when this creature enters the battlefield, target player may put Shiraz into their hand from their library, then shuffle. Okay, so he just searches them up, or they search up each other. I was like, how does this work again? We have a Heavenly Whale. We have the Whales of Flying. 2 blue and 4 generic Elemental Whale with Delve. He's flying. Whenever he attacks, you may put an instant or sorcery card exiled with Heavenly Whale into your hand. So now not only do you have to keep that thing, the cards in a separate exile zone, so you know what has been exiled by him when you delved for him. That's interesting. So I guess when you delve, it's part of the cost, and it was the creature that did it? Yeah, we'll just go with that for now. That's interesting. Ravenous Gigantotherium, blah blah blah. He's 2 green and 5. Creature beast with Devour 3. As it enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice any number of creatures. This creature enters the battlefield with 3 times that many 1/1 counters on it. That's kind of nice. When Ravenous, whatever, enters the battlefield, deals X damage divided as you choose among X creatures, where X is its power. Each of those creatures deals damage equal to its power back to this thing. And it starts off as a 3/3. So it could come in as a 6/6, do up to 6 damage. Nah, it's okay. Yeah, the shiny Empress is pretty cute. Looks like a lemur. Narcent Metamorph. 1 blue, 1 generic, 1/1. When it ever attacks or blocks, target opponent reveals the top cards of their library until they reveal a creature card. Narcent Metamorph becomes a copy of that card until end of turn. Then that player puts all cards revealed this way on the bottom of their library in random order. It's a shapeshifter. Might be a 1/1, but he could be a 10/10. That's kind of neat. Decoy Gambit, 1 blue, 2 generic. For each opponent, choose up to 1 target creature that player controls. Then return that creature to owner's hand unless its controller has you draw a card. Yeah, that's neat. That Narset Metamorph is pretty busted. It's choosing your opponent's creatures. You gotta remember that. But at the same time, for Commander, that's pretty crazy. THRU, Ruthless Stalker. 1 green, 3 generic, 3/3. He also partners with Ukima Stalking Shadow, which is the card right next to it. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on that creature. And his partner is a 2/2 Whale Wolf. Whale Wolf. What? Also be playable in Legacy, but that's a dead format. Yeah, that's true. Because they play with anything out there. So the Stalking Shadow is 1 black, 1 blue, and 1 generic. He's a 2/2. He can't be blocked. When it leaves the battlefield, it deals damage to target player, and you gain X life, where X is its power. Those two together aren't too bad, I guess. Eron Frolicker. Another elemental otter. It's nice to see that they're going with this. 2 blue and 2 generic. He's a 5/5 flying. When he enters the battlefield, if you cast it, target opponent takes an extra turn after this one. Until your next turn, you and planeswalkers you control gain protection from that player. Meaning you can't take damage from them, but until your next turn, you and planeswalkers you control gain protection from that player. Interesting. You and planeswalkers you control can't be targeted, dealt damage, or enchanted by anything controlled by that player. Cool. That's interesting. I don't see you really wanting to give them an extra turn. It just delays the game, really. Think of true name Nemesis. Yeah, kinda. Silent Arbiter. It's 4 generic artifact creature construct, 1/5. No more than 1 creature can attack each combat, and no more than 1 creature can block each combat. That's kind of nice, actually. That's a shutdown card for Commander. That's kind of fun. Mass Demirers, I'm pretty sure that's a reprint. 2 green and 2 generic. He's a 3/2 Elf Shaman. When he enters the battlefield, draw a card. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you may pay 2 green. If you do, return Mass Demirers from your graveyard to your hand. That's kind of nice that they can come back from your graveyard. And then we have the Deadly Tempest for 2 black and 4 generic. Destroy all creatures. Each player loses life equal to the number of creatures they destroyed that control that were destroyed this way. Yeah, like this does not feel like a Magic set. This feels like Wizards of the Coast went to the movies and said, let's make all these things into cards. It's like, what? I don't know. The one thing that Mike from the Magic Historian was talking about today that I didn't even realize is the Buy-A-Box promo being Godzilla. And I am thoroughly unimpressed with this right now. Where are you, Godzilla? Okay, so has anyone seen the actual card that this is supposed to be? The Zilortha Strength Incarnate? Has anyone seen that card? Does that card actually exist? There's no art for it. There's no card. This is a Buy-A-Box promo, and the Buy-A-Box promos have not been in the main set, so this is the only version of that card in the set. So this means Godzilla is actually in Magic. I am thoroughly unimpressed by that. Now this is card 275, so this is a smaller set, but still. Like from Nexus of Fate, it was only ever a Buy-A-Box program, so why there's no other Nexus of Fate? You think you've seen the real card? Because I looked up the name, I tried finding it, I couldn't find it. Whenever you put it up there, it comes up in Scryfall, but that's it. And it comes up as this card only. Zilortha is Godzilla. No slush thing as Zilortha. Yeah. I wonder how much they paid to use the IP. It's hard to say. But the fact that this card only exists in this card, it's absolutely stupid. So do be on the lookout for that video from Mike. Apparently he's coming out with that today. Cool, everything goes boom. Yeah. Like, you mean to tell me that the trailer that Vivian actually summoned this creature? Like, what? We're breaking the 5th wall at this point. Who cares about the 4th wall? That went out the window a long time ago. The 5th wall is broken now. So I'm thoroughly unimpressed with that. So that looks like it for new spoilers. It is the weekend, so I'm not surprised there is that little bit. The music in the trailer was stupid. Yeah, it was. The music didn't fit the theme. Like Vivian comes running in, all girl power stuff with the music, but then it's like, no, she should have some more different kick-ass music. Not this girl power thing. Because that, to me, that didn't make sense. Yeah, the trailer wasn't that good. It was really hard to tell what certain things were. Crap rotation, I don't remember seeing that. So that's another commander card that's been put in there. Sacrifice a land, find a different land. That's not that good. Yeah, it doesn't look like there was anything else that came out. You haven't watched the trailer yet, Maz? You should go watch the trailer and be disappointed. The trailer actually was trending on YouTube. It had something like 11 million views when it dropped, but the War of the Spark trailer had like 12 million views, so I was kind of surprised by that. Also, the Ikoria trailer only had something like 8,000 people thumbs up, thumbs down on it, which for 11 million views, that didn't seem right. You normally get quite a bit more thumbs up, thumbs down on something that gets viewed that much. War of the Spark was way better trailer. I love the trailer for that. You know, it did have its moments that just seemed ridiculous, but I loved the trailer for War of the Spark. The music was on point for that one. I thought it was a lot better, but this new one to me just kind of falls off the wayside. I think they missed the mark with the music and missed the mark on what they were animating for it. The animation was better. It's nice to see these full animation trailers instead of what we've had in the past. But yeah. Throne was fun. Throne was a very fun one, although Throne did get replayed around here and again with Shrek music and stuff like that, which is kind of funny. Throne of Eldraine was pretty much, we go into the world of Shrek and Donkey and everything like that. So, yeah, now instead of us getting a normal Magic set, we got Wizards of the Coast went to a movie and saw all of Sharknado, and yeah. The Throne trailer was okay. But when you watch the Throne trailer with the Shrek music, it's kind of funny. Someone did take already the Ikoria trailer and put the Godzilla theme song music, and it actually made it a lot better. Literally Sharknado as an enchantment. Which is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, they watched all the Sharknado movies and all the Godzilla movies. King Kong. What's next in these B-rated pop culture movies? What is next? Are we getting Knight Rider next? Are we assembling Voltron? Are we like seriously? Anyway, guys, that was today's spoilers. I will be let's end the stream here. That way, if people want to come back and see the spoilers, they can see them, my reactions to them and stuff like that. They did Fail Tales, no giant monster movies now. Yeah, like they're literally pulling from everything that's been in cinema right now. Transformers, like Hasbro owns that IP, and it would be nice to see them a little bit more in Magic the Gathering for the crossover stuff instead of just the HasCon or whatever promos. If they did the similar thing with Transformers, as they did with Godzilla. Maybe they'll do G.I. Joe. Who knows? I don't know. It's all up to them, and they have this new direction to try and milk from pop culture history. But yeah, we will see you guys later tonight. Still raising funds. The link for that is down below. Even if you do it off stream, it will still show up, and we can celebrate it when I do come back for a stream. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We will see you guys next time, about this time tomorrow, and I'll see if there's new spoilers. Otherwise, we'll just do a chill stream and play some games and stuff like that. Have a good day, and we will see you next time.